All right, in this video, I'm going to go over some of the basics of charting, plotting data. And so in the last video, we created this data using some trig functions and some angles. To make the charting easier, it will help to format this a little bit better first. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this row. I'm just going to add that up to here. So angle, and put in there degrees. And this will end up being the labels on our charts. This will be sine, sine. That's as far as I'm going to take it. I don't really want to show the data versus the radians, so I'm just going to move the radians out of my way over here. And notice how I can drag the whole row over by selecting the whole row, wait until it turns its hand, and then dragging it over. Go ahead and get rid of this row now. So now I have, what you want to do is whatever you want to have across the value you want to have across the bottom of your chart, have that in your first column, and then the values that will be represented as the y component of your chart in the subsequent. So I'm going to go over the easy way to do this first, and then show how to edit the charts from there. So if the data is formatted this way, we can create a chart pretty easily by just selecting the data. In that case, select all this. And then we go to our charts tab. Usually on this tab, we go to our charts tab, or you might have an insert chart, depending on which version of Excel you're using. This one. If you're looking at data, you want to compare. You want to have several pieces of data compared to a single value, such as angle or time or something like that. You'll want to use a scatter plot. So we're going to use a scatter plot, and there's different kinds. We can just have the line, we can just have the data points themselves, or we have them connected. Let's just do the data points themselves, and there we go. We got a chart pops up. That's a sine wave. Looks about right, and so I can add to this. Notice how it names it up here. That's fine. I can add to this by select data. Over here, hit add, and then I can do kind of a copy and paste from here. First of all, you can hit this and you can select what you want it to be. So this is going to be cosine. I can change the label to that. There you go. Oops, I messed that up. That's not what I wanted. So sine is that. That's fine. And cosine be this. Goody. And for my x values, I can do a kind of a copy and paste. So I want to use the same set of x values. That's what the value of this chart is. And I can even copy that down here and then just change the letter for the column. So see, my cosines are in column C, so I can change that A to a C. And same thing here. And boom. There, I have my cosine. Okay, so I added that. Let's add the tangent and see what happens. So add all this. Oh, I spelled tangent wrong. I'll show you how we can fix that here in a minute. And again, I already have it in my copy, so I paste that. That's good. Paste that, and it's column D now. So we want to fill in column D. Oh my God, what happened? Well, I can tell you what happened is we have, if you look at our values for the tangent, at 90 degrees, the tangent becomes a very large number. And actually, so does the Yeah, so you can see the tangent becomes a very large number here right at 90 degrees. And so it's threw the scale off. What we can do to fix that, first of all, let's fix this misspelling here. So I can just go up here now and go in there, change that there, hit enter. There, it updated on my chart. Now, I have one set of data that's on a relatively small scale, another set of data that has a very large scale. To show a better look at this data, I can right-click on the tangent and go to Format Data Series, and then hit Secondary Axis, and it moves it to another axis with its own scale. So right now, this is the tangent scale, and this is the sine cosine scale. So that brought back my sine and cosine, but still the tangent is way out of whack, and that's because at 90 degrees, it's a very large number. Actually, 90 degrees and 270 degrees is a very large number. So I'm just going to blow up those data points and see if that makes it any better. Get rid of those. And this just happens, to be one of the quirks about using a digital tool to represent an analog type function. Delete that. Now that's looking more like what the tangent should be. And I can play around with how this chart looks. Like I can select different chart types up here. See? Get something I like. Let's go back to this one right here. We can change our chart title to, it's thinking on me. Cancel. Okay, we can call this trig functions. And I can call this degrees. Call it amplitude for lack of a better word. Or I can get rid of it altogether. See? Now this is fine. It's on my sheet. It's kind of blocking the data though. And sometimes it's nice to be able to go and put this on its own sheet. So to do that, you right click and say Move Chart, New Sheet, and you can see right now I'm on sheet 2. Okay, there you go. And I can do other things like, let's see, format plot area. That's not what I wanted. Here we go. Click on the axis and format. You can add major grid lines or even add minor grid lines. And it's kind of hard to see. There. And so now I've got that. I lost my format data series, axis, secondary. Okay. Format data series, primary. Oh, I changed this over here. Let's change this to format axis, and you change the scale here. So minimum, let's make it 10, or let's say minus 10, and let's make the maximum 10. Oh, that's still not going to do it. Let's go minus 5. Minus 5 and 5. There we go. See, so we can change the scale there, and we have our tricks. So that's a little bit of the basics of the charting. Now we can also change, what this looks like. Let's go again, format data series, and you have which axis it's on, the order, and that's just which one's on top, which one's on bottom. Marker line, marker style. So we pick these different markers and change the size of them. And lots of other stuff you can play with. Okay, but that's the basics. So we added, we made a chart using just select an area. Then we added a single value. We played with the different axes, the scaling of the axis, primary, secondary, and yeah, and that's the basics of charting and plotting in Excel. Thanks a lot.